pretty decisively as they have, and then pray that the stars align so that they can claim their first seed and get their, their little benefits package that comes with being first seed in playoffs.
Yeah, I believe that's getting to choose some of the way the teams lay in the bracket there, who they go up against. So great start there. Almost hitting the barrier, but not quite. So BOIS' barrier will still be standing there. The interesting double midfield here versus double midfield on the side of Dog as well, as we have Juno, Octavia versus Kai Aimee. And Aimee can kind of be brawler, and it is Nikki Middleton on that. But even still, a lot of core control on this Inkies, as you might expect. And not too many barriers being taken despite being halfway through that first point.
For sure, and notably, it was a 6-spark game, and that typically leads to games where, everybody takes sparks and prays that they can get online. We've only got 4 this time around. Vaughn and Nikki Minolan have both opted into that Timeless Creator, which makes sense whenever you think about like the Amy turret, the Atlas secondary. Very impactful, especially with that Timeless if they can get it going. However, the Timeless is not going to have an impact this round, I don't think. Oh my.
Yep, it is going to be Kai Noob taking the first kill, the first goal. Nicely picked up there, and a lead for BOIS in the beginning, but was a little bit harder than I think we were initially expecting here. Dog's putting up a pretty good fight, especially for the mirrored position here, the 7-1 BOIS and the 1-7 Dogs. So it is the Dogs having their second win here. They are putting forth a little bit of effort. The core flip used to save the barrier initially. And of course, barrier is all important on Inkies. Vaughn also using the flip there. As we have still the barrier standing, but it is going to be the Dogs finding their barrier taken away by the BOIS. The Cosmic Expense there from Vaughn a little bit too far behind, not quite in range, but Juno is in range, and Bells gets another goal. BOIS 2-0 in the lead here, and BOIS, I think, getting ready to set themselves apart on the tiebreakers versus the Rats, most likely.
For sure, and this is a bit of an interesting game, as we were talking about it earlier, the double midfield on both sides. Momentary break gives me some time to yap about it. Notably, though, the Bruno, something that Bells has been a big advocator for, I think, as of mostly this season. And we've seen it pulled out a couple times by him, but it is a character that is really, really good. I actually do kind of like the idea of it on this map, where you just put Juno on the out clear. And then at any point in time, she just throws a slime, jumps in, drops her ult, and suddenly it's really, really hard for these double range backline to get the ball out without the help of like a big pocket down ability.
Yeah, flipping counter flip there, making one as well. And we can see that it is really difficult, although Bells does whiff the flip there, and that makes it a little easier to clear pass, but I 100% agree. Versus these ranged goalies. What? No, the back pass failed! Twisty, no! Unfortunate on that one. I assume Twisty was trying to go for a back pass there, but not the way you want to see that one go.
That does mean that the first spark's going to fall into Kai Noob's hand. The Octavia, while Spark of Focus isn't something too scary. Octavia's got much scarier things on the table. Chrono Boost, Aerials, Peak, a bunch of other stuff. It is still double Spark. It is going to need to be watched out for. And then throughout the rest of this, there's not too much that scares me. I am noticing that Fire Up has gone in the way of Twisty. I really did expect in a draft like this, where there's not anything too impactful. Like, we're not talking about anybody's Biss here. We're kind of just looking at, like, generically good Awakenings. I'm surprised that Fire Up didn't get picked up sooner, but Twisty did pick it up. And if that could get some value, it could be very, very useful with this triple backline, this triple range backline.
Yeah, we do see, though, Vaughn in the backline there with the ultimate, showing the usage of the Catalyst there with the Atlas ultimate to get extra power, extra energy there. At first, I was thinking a little bit of why didn't he take Siege Machine on the Atlas, but is very good with the energy gain on the ultimate, and that's Bells on the Bruno. You were talking about it earlier. Just cancels an out clear with a really nice Juno primary there. Did get denied the rapid fire, I do believe, but even still had the slime available.
Sure, going into the second point. Kind of just gonna see what we see every round, where the entirety of BOIS run up, throw all their abilities on the kickoff, probably win it, and then they'll try to win it through here with Lawn Flip, if I had to guess. Kind of working towards his as well. No, Nikki Middleton is actually taken off the field. They have ulterior motives.
was a great strike shot from Weston, but it's not enough. Octavia was there to catch the corner clear there. And Kainub is, well, he's not going to miss an easy shot like that one. Sometimes you get people that panic in the moment and the shot goes a little wide, but that one is fairly stock standard, just hit it sideways into the goal. Twisty, though, with the flip there, Crystal Thorn's behind, not actually going to be able to get anything with it, unfortunately. So the barrier's still standing. It does go down the side of the Dogs as the base drop comes out as well. Twisty taking a little bit low, but not out just yet, but Kainuk is keeping up the damage there, and it's going to be Bells getting to the goal in the bottom here. Nicely set up.
It's seeming like BOIS, I believe this is BOIS map. Nope, this is Dogs map. This is just a map that BOIS are very comfortable on. We've seen it come out a lot, and oh, that's a triple spark Octavia. It might be the worst possible thing you could ever want to see if you're a Dogs fan. This might be worse than Chrono Boost CTL Octavia in a way. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how the rest of this draft plays out, but I don't see anything that's really like game winning for Dogs here. Like you get Happy Star. Nikki Midland's probably happy with that Timeless Creator, that turret up more often. You know, the just drop it on kickoff is quite nice. But I'm looking at all this speed that the entirety of BOIS got, not just the triple spark Octavia, but you know, the fight or flight performance. And I think they're just gonna run away with this game.
Yeah, we do have the Among Titans on the Kai and the Fire Up as well from last points. There's a fair bit of speed on the side of the Dog Slayers, and of course that Timeless extra special Amy turret from Nikki Midland can actually do a lot of work. So Dogs has a shot here versus BOIS, but it is a bit of a long one, especially versus the Sparktavia. As the primary comes through, Twisty unfortunately doesn't get the perfect angle, does unfortunately hit the barrier. Base drop is going to secure that. Actually, Bells will, with the last slime through everything, the last strike in the face of the turret to secure the goal. And yeah, it was, you know, it's a little bit longer. Dogs fighting back a little bit, but BOIS really just in position to run away with this game, literally with all of that speed.
Sure, and with both flips worked out, it's probably a good thing for the Dogs, but, you know, Bells, very consistent on this Juno, it seems. Every time he gets the ball, even on a character that doesn't have a lot of hit stun, which is what you would like normally think brawlers get it done with, Bells just kind of makes it work. He just throws too many slimes at you, and then he covers wherever you like the slimes are. And I mean, that's the power of Juno, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't have a wall goalie, then Juno is kind of a death sentence on the offense. She is just so difficult to contend with those slimes. As long as they only need one hit to get it done, they are just everywhere. Core flip is well used, another goal scored, and BOIS take a very quick game one, 3-0 fashion. I don't believe Dog got any goals there. They get the barrier a couple of times, but it was a stomp for the BOIS here. Dog, if they want to contend at all, they will need to buck up for game two.
Yeah, it is feels like what might be not quite a record, but you know, we've had faster in these games, I think, but not by much. 820, very, very fast indeed, and probably not the best feeling game. I gotta be honest. That's a game that like it just feels bad. There's no getting around it. Like games like those feel really bad, especially whenever that's like your map and you pick it. Granted, I did hear a little bit, you know, saw a little bit in the chat earlier. Neither of these teams warmed up, I don't think. I believe I know Twisty didn't. I think Nikki got out of bed right before this game. And I don't know what Weston was up to, but I don't imagine he was warming up either. So maybe they're, you know, late scalers. They'll come in game two and be ready, but it seemed brutal. I gotta be honest.
It did not seem brutal. It was brutal on that one. You know, we have some happy slimes on the side of the profile pictures from the Dogs there, but those were not happy slimes from Bells. Every single one of those was basically lethal. There was effectively no chance that Weston even had to clear the core when it got to his side, and it was on his side most of the game. So much control from the side of the BOIS, and just very difficult to contend with. A lot of control all around. When we go to game two, let's see if Dog has any strategy for getting around that. But otherwise, I mean, BOIS, one of the best teams for a very long time for a very good reason. They know their game. They're good at playing it. And if you get sucked into that, then there's really no way around it. You will lose. And in the case of this one, it will be quick.
Yeah, I think it's I think there's potential. You know, this is a map that the dogs like. I assume. I'm assuming that based off the fact that they played it to get into NASL against their game in PPL, and they're running it back at what might be the last game of NASL for this season, for them, anyways. Uh, so this is a map they like. However, this is also a map that I mean, it feels bad because like boys like all the maps. They've been around for every season, and then some, right? Like, there's not a map they don't like, but I do believe this is one of the maps that like Kai Noob's very comfortable on. Vaughn's gonna pick like Atlas or Dubu, and he's gonna hold it down forever. And Bells is gonna do Bells stuff. I don't know what he's gonna pick. He might pick the Bruno. Oh, we've got it actually. He's picked the Rasmus. There's no Dubu or Atlas actually. Vaughn's feeling a little happy. Lock the Fini, I imagine, and we'll probably see probably just the Octavia again. Unless Kainoob. Oh, I was unbelievably wrong. The Dubu has come out. I don't know who's playing what.
Bell's Dubu lore, perhaps?
Could be maybe a little Vaughn Rasmus goalie, like a mini. I don't know. There's so many things here. The flip side, dogs. Mako Estelle Kazan. I feel like that's a pretty. I feel like I've seen this comp before. I think there's a lot of. It's Estelle Oni Village, right? Like she's good. She's always been good. It's like her map. But I don't know how Kazan is on it. Like I know a lot of people like it, but I don't know how Kazan actually does in the meta. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not playable, but there is a lot of like contention right now about whether or not Kazan is up to par as like some of the other brawlers. You know, the Julie, the I guess on this map, I can really only think of like the Rasmus, the Julie, the Zen. And the Julie's not even that far up there. Like it's really just like Rasmussen, I feel like I see him these days.
I mean, do keep in mind though that this isn't just Kazan. This is Size Kazan. So he does get that free Size Awakening on the recovery drone, and that really does enable him a lot better. Lets him cover a lot more area, and especially on Oni Village, the ability to cover an area is pretty nice. However, unfortunately, it is not the Bell's Dubu lore. It is going to be Vaughn on the Dubu playing a wall goalie on Oni Village to match the Mako. As well, this game might be a little bit longer. It is Oni Village after all, but Vaughn with a roll forward, showing that you can still have a little bit of Dubu forwarding, even if it's in the goalie role. And Bell's getting the core, going up into the corner. Piercing shot, not enough. Gets a double as Bell's kind of bottom here. And the core not quite in the net just yet, but it might only be a matter of time with Bell's, or as the boys are running forward.
Yeah, and with a Fini ult, level 2, she's gotten it. Not able to find anything off of it quite yet, but they do have both barriers, and that means the dogs are kind of on the back foot here. Managed to find one, but it's not looking too promising. Actually, I lied. They found both. I knew. You'll have a flip to work with soon.
I mean, you don't get the goal, but you do get the goalie, so Bells is still pretty happy with that, and Vaughn is the one to get the goal. Bells was just preparing the way for Vaughn to get a goal there. Maybe that was one of their things, like Vaughn signed in the contract, must get one goal in the regular season, and that was Bells letting that one happen.
I think Vaughn's got a couple more than one goal in the regular season. I haven't really looked, but I have cast in quite a few boys games this season, and I can vaguely remember saying Vaughn scored a couple of times, as Kainu will find a kill with the flip and Bells with the hook. Weston has nothing left in the tank, and it is just initially, it's looking like it might be, albeit a slower sweep, another boys sweep.
Boys playing quite well right now, and even with the size on the Kazan, it's not quite enough to be the difference maker just yet. We will see, of course, how the draft goes, but interesting enough, though, with the size, Kainoob actually took the size as well. Double barriers will go down here. Vaughn playing forward with the core flip. Counter flips Twisty as well. Flip wall. It's a tragedy here for the dogs, as even Twisty got the recovery drone popped, and Kainoob actually will be the one to get the MVP. Again, midfield, Oni Village, pretty important role.
Yeah, and Kainoob will be rewarded with whatever he'd like. I'm actually looking at a OIA. It's actually just going to be the fight or flight. I'm really shocked he doesn't go OIA. I feel like that's such a a pretty strong awakening whenever you're not being killed, and I don't think Kaido's gonna get killed this game. The only other really notable things here are the spark options that have fallen to both Dubu and Estelle. And I mean, like, it's kind of just like a whatever draft. Like, people are happy, they got their stuff. But I'm really only looking at the speed on Oni Village because nothing else matters too much.
Yeah, and with that, I think it's actually really nice that Bells takes the aerials, because it's pretty good on Rasmus. Some people disagree with the ultimate range. But Speed Rasmus, Oni Village, pretty good with secondary. But denying it from the Mako is peak, because aerials, Mako, and Oni Village is maybe one of her best ones. So I think that's a really good deny on that one. Death Touch is going to whiff, unfortunately. Pendulum Swing is actually going to send it forward there, passing to the Clarion Corp partner there, as Bells goes down to the corner here and does manage to get it through. Weston holding the second just a little bit too long, and Twisty cleared around, but does get the core back and forth. Nikki Millen up to the top. Crystal Thorns piercing shot, not enough to get the berry.
Yeah, and the Cage will come out and lock Bells away for a moment, but is not going to stop the offense as as the VD ultimate comes out on the goal line, and not really much you can do about it. There's nobody there to like reinforce it, even if it is the hard like reinforce.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really well executed there by Kainu with the ultimate there. Somersault comes out as well. Bells and the Tofu Fortress behind. Good defense there from the side of the Dog Slayers to hold this bottom barrier, even in the face of all of this. Now, in the end, Bells does still get it, but it did take a lot more resources. There's an opportunity here for Dog to go back across the map, but Death's Touch Strike is not enough. Actually, good defense there from Weston. But now some of the cooldowns are coming back off cooldown. Triple A countered by a strike, or a core flip there. The Ensnare Drums comes out as well. Kainu playing the goalie here, as Vaughn is playing a bit of midfield. As the big finish goes out. It's a great pass, but intercepted by a strike shot from Weston. The secondary from Mako as well. Core flip from the Kazan up to the top, counter by Kainu there. Triple comes out as well, and the core goes for yet another cycle around the map.
Yeah, and the Kainu flip, it's actually not going to find the barrier. I thought it was looking really good there. Vaughn's getting involved. He wants the flip. The flip goes wide. Bells still has one more, although being brought low, and, well, with Dogs claiming a barrier, actually, Bells might not get the opportunity, and he's going to be taken off the field for now, because we'll save them for the moment, though.
Yep, and that is some aerial value there, actually, but unfortunately doesn't get the barrier. Kainub, though, midfield backing up the brawler there. Rose Orb used, strikes as well, but Bells just has so much patience, as Dog just couldn't wait and used everything. Bells sat there and laughed like an evil villain that Rasmus is.
A little shades of name Chaotic there, for those that know. The Beta 5, if you watch. I love that video. That video made my week. Anyways, BOIS will claim their first barrier. They're working on the second, and they will indeed claim it.
And that's going to be the goal claimed as well. Kainub getting the credit for that one. The Ensnare Drum's not able to put much of a resistance at all. And that is yet another set claimed by the boys. 5 sets in, no goals scored by Dog. Barely barriers taken, as that is a team player to deny from Amako, potentially.
It is, but it's also a timeless creator if Fini would want, or whatever. It's actually going to be the Monk Titans. Kainub is just speed maxing right now with that Fighter Flight, Mag Souls, and now the Among Titans follow up. Chrono Boost on Rasmus is also really good. The only real other thing I think is notable, maybe a little bit of size on the Mako, but I don't think it matters. I think what really is important here for Dogs is that this team player did get into their hands. Although it is on the Estelle, and I feel like you would have really liked to have seen it on the Mako.
Yeah, I think the Mako wanted to prioritize denying the size of the Rasmus, which is fair. But not having team player, not having chrono boost on this Mako, any kind of awakenings for dash speed are good on Mako. So it really felt like a playing not to lose. And at this point, Dogs can't just play not to lose. They have to play to win. So I think this might be another slow death here. Or maybe even a quick one, as the boys got quite a bit of good stuff in this last draft. Vaughn with 1-2 punch might do some happy gaming here on the sides. That roll into log combo can be brutal. Another barrier goes down to Kainub's aura flip there, as the pendulum swing secures the goal.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty interesting use of the flip. It looks like an aura flip, but it is kind of an aura flip. But it actually throws off the timing of Weston because he's expecting the Kainub's just gonna flip the ball and red speed it, right? But no, he just hits it past Nikki, and the flip is used to stun, and so you're not I don't know. You're not mentally awake enough right there. Twisty's taken off the field. Recov means that it doesn't actually mean anything besides, well, you don't have Recov drone anymore, but you still have the size, so.
Yeah, imagine if Recov drone lost the size as well. To be brutal.
I,
But barrier is saved by Weston.
I'm kind of down. Buff Recov, make it like 40%, and then it loses like 20% whenever it gets disabled. Thoughts? I think this might be what recovery needs to become a fun awakening. Oh, the unfortunate around the world instant dogs are not going to have it. And Mickey Middleton. Oh no. Oh, it's just every time it looks good for dogs, the universe intervenes.
And indeed it does, and there is no Atlas for no celestial intervention on this one. So that is Vaughn going to try and get the kill flip on Twisty as well. It just keeps getting worse, and Vaughn is now on the other side of the field, completely given up the defense. He doesn't need to. Even if he loses the barrier, he can run back there. If he loses 2 goals, he's still fine. So it's also be a flip in the bottom here. Pendulum swing kills the goalie. The goal is scored, and BOIS takes a 18-0 sweep, with Dogs not able to score even one single goal in 2 games.
Yeah, and that is that actually might be contingent for one of the fastest series in general. A total of 17 minutes and some pocket change, like 40 seconds, I think. That's just like head math. I mean, I can't really say we were expecting much else. I don't think there's any like easy way to say it, but boys are boys. They've been dominant this season as they have been. The only other team they've lost to is the other 7-1 team. And it's like rite of passage for NASL. You show up as the new kids on the block, and you get rocked by boys time. Rat Pack, I guess. They kind of they're also new kids on the block, but like they're like cooler new kids on the block, I guess. I don't know. It's like rite of passage. I don't know. It's boys doing what boys do. They'll claim the series, and that does mean that they do have a possibility at first seed if Rats lose their game, I believe. But there's not too much to say about it.
Yeah, good job to the boys. Very close now to securing seed 1, depending on how the tiebreakers for that go. Not dropping a single goal, let alone a set, is going to be a pretty good way to achieve that. Unfortunately for the Dogs, this will be the end of their season, but we might see them in the next one. So will be good to see how they improve, because that is the other thing. It's the rite of passage. You get in, you're not necessarily used to the way the game is even played at the highest level, and so it takes some adjustment for that. So seeing how they might emerge next time will be quite nice to see. But for the meantime, we will be cutting to a short break, and we'll see you in a little bit.